You're wearing designer clothes, driving a luxury car, and posting vacation photos on Instagram. Your friends think you're living the dream. Your family thinks you've made it. But behind closed doors, you're drowning in debt, losing sleep over bills, and one emergency away from financial disaster. This is the reality of being secretly poor while looking rich to everyone around you. My name is Ivan, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, financial psychology, and why some people seem to effortlessly build wealth while others stay stuck in the same financial patterns for decades. If you're someone who wants to understand the real mechanics behind wealth building instead of just hoping things will magically improve, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it ends up helping you see money differently. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Millions of people are playing a dangerous game of financial pretend. They've mastered the art of looking successful while secretly struggling. And the worst part, the pressure to maintain this image is exactly what's keeping them trapped. Today, I'm breaking down 13 signs that you're secretly poor even though everyone else thinks you're crushing it financially. Number 1, you fantasize about hitting it big instead of building wealth systematically. You buy lottery tickets, you daydream about that business idea taking off overnight. You think about getting discovered, going viral, or somehow stumbling into money. These fantasies are appealing because they offer escape from your current reality without requiring the hard work of actually fixing your finances. But wealthy people don't fantasize about getting rich. They build wealth systematically through consistent saving, smart investing, and disciplined spending. They know that wealth is built slowly through thousands of small decisions, not through one lucky break. When you're spending mental energy on fantasies instead of creating and following a realistic financial plan, you're staying stuck. You're hoping for a rescue instead of rescuing yourself. Number 2, you compare your lifestyle to others constantly. You're obsessed with what your friends drive, where they vacation, what they wear. When someone gets something new, you feel pressure to get something equivalent or better. Your spending decisions are driven by comparison, not by your actual financial goals or capabilities. This is exhausting and expensive. You're running a race where the finish line keeps moving because you're measuring yourself against everyone else instead of your own progress. And the cruel joke is that many of the people you're trying to keep up with are also secretly poor and playing the same game. Rich people focus on their own financial goals. They don't care what their neighbors drive or where their coworkers vacation. They're too busy building actual wealth to worry about keeping up appearances. Number 3, you avoid looking at your bank account balance. You know that feeling when your card gets declined and you act surprised? That's weird. There should be money in there. But you're not actually surprised. You're avoiding reality. You haven't checked your balance in days because you don't want to know how bad it is. This is financial avoidance, and it's a massive red flag. When you're truly in good financial shape, you check your accounts regularly because there's nothing to fear. You want to see your money growing. You want to track your progress. But when you're secretly poor, looking at your balance creates anxiety, so you simply don't look. The problem is that avoiding your bank balance doesn't make your financial problems disappear. It just makes them worse because you can't fix what you're refusing to acknowledge. Number 4, you have designer items but no emergency fund. You've got the Gucci bag, the Apple Watch, the premium sneakers. Your wardrobe looks like you shop at high-end stores. But if your car needed a $1,000 repair right now, you'd have to put it on a credit card. If you lost your job, you'd be in serious trouble within a month. This is the ultimate sign of being secretly poor. You've prioritized looking wealthy over being secure. You've chosen image over substance. And the cruel irony is that truly wealthy people often don't carry designer bags or wear expensive clothes because they don't need to prove anything to anyone. When you're spending money on luxury items while having no emergency fund, you're not building wealth. You're building a house of cards that will collapse the moment anything goes wrong. Number 5, you've mastered the art of looking busy to avoid conversations about money. When family asks about your finances, you change the subject. When friends talk about investments or savings, you suddenly need to check your phone. You become an expert at deflecting any conversation that might reveal your real financial situation. This avoidance isn't just social anxiety, it's shame. You're ashamed that despite the car you drive and the lifestyle you project, you're actually struggling. You're terrified someone will find out that it's all fake. But here's what's interesting. Truly wealthy people love talking about money. They discuss investments, strategies, and opportunities. They're not ashamed because they're not pretending. The need to avoid money conversations is a clear sign you're hiding something. Number 6, you get anxiety when friends suggest doing anything that costs money. Your friends want to go out to dinner. Instant stress, someone suggests a weekend trip. You immediately start calculating whether you can afford it while trying to look casual about it. Every social invitation that involves spending money triggers a complex internal calculation of whether you can maintain your image without admitting you're broke. So you end up doing one of the two things. Either you make excuses and gradually isolate yourself, or you go anyway and put it on a credit card you can't afford to pay off. Both options are terrible. One destroys your social life, the other destroys your finances further. Rich people don't stress about normal social spending because they built margin into their budget. Poor people pretending to be rich are constantly performing these mental gymnastics to keep up appearances while secretly panicking about every expense. Number 7. You can't remember the last time you transferred money to savings. Your savings account exists. Technically, there might even be a few $100s in it from years ago, but you can't remember the last time you actually added money to it. The money flows in from your paycheck and flows right back out to expenses, debt payments, and lifestyle spending. Meanwhile, your Instagram shows a life full of experiences, purchases, and fun times. To everyone watching, you're living your best life. But behind the scenes, you have zero financial cushion, zero safety net, zero preparation for the future. Rich people pay themselves first. Every paycheck, money automatically flows into savings and investments before they see it. Poor people pretending to be rich plan to save whatever's left over, which is always nothing. Number 8, you constantly justify your purchases to yourself and others. I deserve this. I work hard for my money. You only live once. These are the phrases you repeat to yourself every time you make a purchase you can't really afford. You're not just buying the item. You're buying the justification that makes you feel better about the purchase. And when people question your spending, you get defensive. You explain why this purchase was necessary, why it was actually a good investment, why you couldn't pass up this deal. But wealthy people don't need to justify their purchases because they're spending money they actually have on things they can actually afford. If you find yourself constantly justifying your spending, it's because part of you knows you can't afford it. That's your financial conscience trying to stop you from making another mistake. Number 9, you finance everything, including things that should be paid in cash. Your phone is on a payment plan. Your furniture is on a payment plan. Your TV is on a payment plan. Your vacation was put on a credit card. Even your gym membership is set up as monthly payments instead of paying annually for a discount. Here's the reality check. If you can only afford something by breaking it into monthly payments, you cannot actually afford that thing. You're borrowing from your future self to fund your current lifestyle. And every payment plan is a chain that limits your financial freedom. Wealthy people buy assets on payment plans because those assets appreciate or generate income. Poor people pretending to be rich put everything on payment plans because it's the only way they can maintain their image. There's a massive difference. Number 10, your definition of an emergency keeps expanding. At first, your credit card was for real emergencies. Then a sale you couldn't miss became an emergency. Then treating yourself because you had a bad week became an emergency. Now basically everything feels urgent enough to justify using credit. This is how debt spirals out of control. You've redefined emergency to mean anything I want right now instead of unexpected necessary expense. Your emotional state has become the determining factor in your spending, not your actual financial situation. Wealthy people have a strict definition of emergency. Car breaks down? Emergency. Want new shoes? Not an emergency. When everything becomes an emergency, nothing is an emergency. You're just overspending with extra justification. Number 11, you think in terms of monthly payments, not total cost. When you're shopping for anything expensive, the first question you ask isn't, how much does this cost? It's, what's the monthly payment? You've trained yourself to ignore the actual price tag and focus only on whether you can squeeze another payment into your budget. This is how car dealerships trap people. They don't talk about the $45,000 price tag. They talk about $599 a month for 72 months. By the time you're done, you've paid over $43,000 for a car that's now worth $25,000. But it felt affordable because you were only thinking monthly. Rich people ask, what's the total cost and can I pay cash? Poor people pretending to be rich ask, what's the monthly payment? This one mindset shift reveals everything about your real financial situation. Number 12, you make good money, but you're still living paycheck to paycheck. This is the most confusing sign because it doesn't make logical sense. You're making $70,000, $80,000, maybe even $100,000 a year. That should be plenty. But somehow, by the time bills are paid and you've maintained your lifestyle, there's nothing left. You're still waiting for payday. You're still stressed about unexpected expenses. This happens because your lifestyle expanded to match your income. You got the raise, so you upgraded the apartment. You got the bonus, so you leased a nicer car. Every increase in income became an excuse to increase spending. Now you're making great money, but you're just as broke as you were making half as much. The truly wealthy don't let lifestyle inflation steal their raises. When their income goes up, their savings rate goes up even faster. When your income goes up and you're still living paycheck to paycheck, that's not bad luck. That's bad decisions. Number 13, your credit cards are maxed out, but you keep getting offers for new ones. You've got $8,000 on one card, $5,000 on another, and $3,500 on a third. Instead of this being a wake-up call, you see it as proof that you're financially responsible enough to qualify for credit. So when that new card offer comes in the mail, you tell yourself you'll use it for emergencies only. But here's what's actually happening. You're in a debt spiral. You're using credit cards to fund a lifestyle you can't afford, then using new credit cards to pay minimums on old credit cards. The banks love you because you're making them rich with interest payments while staying permanently in debt. Truly wealthy people either pay their credit cards in full every month or they don't use them at all. If your credit cards are maxed out and you're still applying for more, you're not building credit, you're building financial disaster. Here's the hard truth. If you recognize yourself in most of these signs, you're not alone. Millions of people are in the exact same situation. They're working hard, earning decent money, and looking successful on the outside while being completely broke on the inside. But here's the good news. Being secretly poor is just a series of choices and habits, and choices and habits can be changed. You don't need to make more money to fix this, though that helps. You need to stop spending money you don't have to impress people who don't care. The first step is dropping the act. Stop pretending. Stop financing a lifestyle you can't afford. Stop prioritizing image over reality. It's uncomfortable at first, but it's the only way out. If this hit close to home, hit that subscribe button. Your future self is either going to thank you for the changes you make today or regret that you kept pretending everything was fine.